This is why I should stop using Facebook. After the James Harden trade happened, there were people saying, whoa, well, the Nets are winning it now. No, they're not. This is not 2K. This is real life. You got two ball-dominant guys. Durant's the only guy that's proven he can move without the ball, that he doesn't need the ball in order to be an effective scorer. Look at him in Golden State. He joined a team that was 73-9 the previous year and choked a 3-1 lead. They really should have won the title, but it is what it is. And they won 2 titles during the 3 years he was there. Durant is the only surefire thing on this quote-unquote super team. Just because you have guys assembled together, superstars, well, 2 superstars, Kyrie isn't. If you see my diss track on him, first ever video I made, diss track on Kyrie Irving, Kyrie, go ahead, check it out, especially if you don't like him. You already know how I feel about Kyrie. And then, literally, this guy is off the grid. What does that mean, first off? Off the grid? What in the world? Where? I'm not even speaking English right now. I'm barely speaking English right now. That's just how confused I am about the current situation with Kyrie. It's so confusing. I swear, the dude has some kind of mental issue. He low-key reminds me of my client Lorena Bobbitt. If you see my work rant videos, you know what's up. Low-key, he reminds me of her. I low-key think that she has borderline personality disorder, and I think he does. I'm trying to remember at the top of my head. I was looking up symptoms of borderline personality disorder, and one of them was saying unstable relationships or relationships that don't last long. Yup, that's Kyrie. Only 2 years in Boston. The one full, kind of full, because Kyrie, he never plays a full year. He's always having some kind of injury, or he's on his period, so he misses a game, or misses 2 weeks of games because he's on his period. In 2 years, Kyrie managed to burn the bridge with the Celtics organization, the most prestigious organization in the NBA next to the Lakers. And now Brooklyn. It was funny what people were saying. There was some tweet I saw. Funny how life comes at you. Kyrie left LeBron to be the man. That's another thing. He's a cancer for that. Oh, I'm not the man of a team, so let me request a trade. It was funny what this tweet was saying. Kyrie left to be the man, but now he's not even Robin. He's Alfred. For sure he's Alfred. He's definitely Alfred. Durant is Batman, and Harden's going to be Robin now. And I think it'd be better off if Kyrie didn't play. That's one less ego to put on the team. Durant's not much of an ego guy. His issue's more with dealing with trolls on the internet, as he has the most, or the lowest tolerance for trolls on the internet I've ever seen from an NBA player. The dude gets so easily irked by trolls on the internet. That's his main issue. And now James Harden. Kyrie made me learn something, and I think this is going to apply to James Harden as well. Look at how he left the Rockets. Or not really left. I mean, he did force his way out there, but the Rockets are the ones that make the final call. It's not like Harden was a free agent. They traded him. Look at how he got himself out of Houston. That is pathetic. And now you think everything's going to be all good since now he has a fresh start. That's what all these apologists will be saying about the Nets. Well, James Harden's not going to be distraction or drama queen anymore. He has a fresh start in Brooklyn. It's all going to be good now. He has his old teammate, Kevin Durant. Yeah, remember? Charles Barkley said this yesterday on Inside the NBA. I'm going to say it too. 9 years ago, they were in completely different times of their career. Durant was just getting started into becoming the superstar he is now. And James Harden wasn't even James Harden. He was the sixth man. His ego wasn't as high as it is right now. And you think it's going to be a great match with Durant, Harden, and Kyrie if the dude comes back. But who knows, since that dude is the weirdest player in the NBA. He is the most bizarre player in the NBA, Kyrie. Dude is so moody. You can't tell what he's going to be on each day. One day he could be burning sage. The next day, the dude's MIA. And you think this is going to be a great fit for those three guys, assuming that Kyrie is going to be playing with them eventually. Two guys that need the ball. Off the ball movement is non existent with those guys. And you think it's going to be great. Then you got Steve Nash. He's a Hall of Fame player, but this is his first year as a coach. And you think he's going to just coast through this easily? And Kendrick Perkins, you need to stop. Kendrick Perkins was saying, well, LeBron, he will be in the GOAT conversation if he beats this Nets team. Perkins, I appreciate for what you did as a Celtic, but you're talking nonsense. Because the Nets aren't even going to be in the finals. They're not doing jack, man. They're not the best team in the East still. The Celtics are still better than them. I don't care what any of you say. Oh, yeah, you're just being a biased little Celtics fan. No, they're better than the Nets. Talent isn't everything. What the Nets have in talent, the Celtics have more in chemistry. And that's something the Nets aren't going to have. They're not going to have good chemistry. And another thing I've seen analysts point out, the ones that are doubting this whole Nets move. They talk about Shannon Sharp. That's one guy that came to mind when I'm saying this. He was saying it didn't work out with Dwight Howard. His bro, Russell Westbrook, came back to him last year, and it still didn't work out. Now you think it's going to work out again with Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving? You have two guys that got off of the teams they were on in a pathetic fashion. Kyrie with the Cavs, and now James Harden with the Rockets. James Harden wasn't even trying his last few games with the Rockets. And now you're expecting him to just turn the tide and now just be this great Samaritan Samaritan. Why use that for a word? But just like this model citizen that doesn't cause drama. There's gonna be drama. This is gonna be a train wreck in Brooklyn. I guarantee you that. I'm pulling a Charles Barkley. I guarantee you that this is not gonna work in Brooklyn. Look what happened with the 2013 Lakers. Kind of similar with Dwight Howard and how he got himself out of Orlando, like with Kyrie in Cleveland and James in Houston. It was an embarrassment how he got himself out of that situation. And it was an embarrassment, if you remember at that time watching basketball, if you were a fan during that time in 2011, 2012, when all of this drama about will Dwight Howard stay in Orlando or will he not? It didn't work out. He was out after a year. Kobe, Dwight Howard in his prime, Paul Gasol, he wasn't quite in his prime, but he still was pretty good. He just wasn't used right because Mike D'Antoni is a joke. He's not a good coach. He only knows how to do fast-paced offense, nothing else. And then Steve Nash, he wasn't in his prime as well. And that team barely made the playoffs. Kobe put the team on his back, and because of that, that ended his career, essentially. Yeah, he played 3 more years, but he never was the same after an Achilles tear. And it was because the team was a train wreck. You could talk about the injuries and all that, but they didn't have chemistry as well. They weren't the most positive vibes team out there. History repeats itself, and it's gonna repeat itself with the Brooklyn Nets. The Brooklyn Nets traded all these first-round picks. You remember what happened the last time the Brooklyn Nets traded a whole bunch of first-round picks? They made the Celtics team what it is currently. All those traded draft picks. Thank you, Brooklyn, for creating our Celtics team that we have right now. With Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, 2 big parts to that trade. And you know what? I'm adding my dad into this for a few minutes since he's back in the car and I want him to share his 2 cents on what he thinks about this James Harden trade.
Well, on paper, Harden, Irving, Durant, and DeAndre Jordan for the rebounds seems like an automatic trip to the finals. But wait. There's only one ball. Durant has MVPs. Harden has MVPs. Kyrie, no. So, here's one thing could happen, and probably good. If Kyrie's out again, probably a better chance of them winning, because then there's only 2 people that have to share the ball. And you know Kyrie has only won 1 title, and that's only because of LeBron. So, I hope interesting-wise, it would... They get to the conference finals and get beat by the Celtics. They play as a team already, but we don't know about the virus.
This is the whatever kid. It's on to the next one, and look forward to seeing the Nets collapse.